Says we're live. Hi, everybody. David, how you doing? How's everybody on your end? I was bummed today. Didn't do much today at all. Went and seen a buddy of mine. He was working on his car. So I went and looked at it. So talked to him for a little bit. How you doing, David? Don't know what we're going to talk about. I'll blab my mouth off about something, I'm sure. But I'm live Saturday night. Mike's in the house. Lone Wrench Garage. I'm doing okay. I rested up. I worked hard all week, so it's been a week. Didn't really make any videos about anything. I kind of figure everybody's kind of tired of the tractor world, so kind of give everybody a break on the videos of tractors. I'm really wanting to get some car stuff out there. It's really what I want to do, but I can't do it, weather being what it is. And there's tractors sitting in the shop all tore apart right now, so I ain't talking about little tractors. I'm talking about big farm tractors. So big RT stuff. So we got that sitting in the way. Had one of them they thought was going to have to take about $40,000 to fix it for pumps and everything to tear it apart to get to them. Come to find out, for some reason or another, it's supposed to have like 68 gallons of hydraulic fluid for the rear ends and the drives. Only had about 25 gallon in it. Go figure. They want to know how come you got problems. That'll do it. That's what they're saying. 72 on Monday. I think we'll probably be about 60 something here, 62 or 3 here. It's supposed to be almost 60 tomorrow. It was high of 35 today. That's the best we could do today was 35. So I'm ready for some 70-degree stuff. I'm all done with the snow and ice and cold, and I'm all done with it. So I know they probably still got some more to go, but it's got to get far and few between now, I think. I'd like to see it get about 75 and stay there for about 3 months, maybe 4. That'd be fine with me. Slaving over a hot what? Baby back ribs. I talked to my brother the other day about having some baby back ribs, and I can't find any around here that's any good worth cooking. I hate to say that. The places that we got for selections for meat, pretty slim. Okay, it's real slim. I'd have better luck going out in the woods and finding a wild hog and getting them ribs. I'd probably be better off that. Just saying. Yeah, got the ice mountain already going here this morning or this evening. Yeah, there it is. They got their plug now. $15 a slab. Yeah, I know it's high. Steven's Small Engines are in the house. How you doing, Steven? How you been? Glad you stopped in. Glad you all stopped in. Mike's talking about baby back ribs and stuff like that. Yeah. So then there's that. You know, we'll talk about food now, probably. And David had pizza. So we got baby back ribs, pizza. Yeah. No, unfortunately, I just plug them because I happen to like them. I happen to like Ice Mountain. I just plug them for that reason. But yeah, I wish they was a sponsor, but they won't hook up with me. I'm not big enough. Yeah. And talking about big enough, Busted Radio Garage. Did you see his post a couple hours ago? I guess his heater went out in a shed and where the cars are at, and I guess had water in some of the cars, and I guess the freeze plugs are now laying on the floor. Did you see that, Mike? Yeah. It showed a picture of the freeze plugs laying on the floor. That's not a good sign. It's hard to imagine it get that cold inside a shed, but obviously it did. It got cold enough to pop freeze plugs out. So that would not be a good time in that shop. I can tell you that. I mean, but all you can do is try, putting them back in and then seeing what you got. Yeah, that'd be a bad day. Wake up with freeze plugs in the floor. That one, and that wasn't just a couple of them. I mean, it looked like one, two, maybe under one, and a couple of them out of Noisy Cricket. It looked like. Yeah, he was getting ready to leave. I think in the next week or two to Florida for the event. So I mean, I understand the water deal. Some of the tracks don't want antifreeze. I get it, but my race car had antifreeze in it during the winter. I can tell you that. I never had a freeze up problem. So, but my race car, always set out in the shed where there wasn't no heat. So it always has. I've never had a problem, but I always put antifreeze in it. Always make sure it had plenty. So, yeah, that's gonna be. I hope for the best there, but I think there was three of them cars of his involved. I think Grim and Noisy Cricket. I think the other one was can't think of what the other one was, but yeah. What am I taking to the No Name National? That's a good question. It's a wait and see. Dart sport, maybe, possibly, more than likely. That's what I'm thinking anyway. It looks like a dart sport, but I wouldn't swear to it right now. Yeah, to be announced. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because it could change with me. I mean, that's the thing about me right now. I could change up plans pretty quickly. So what I can guarantee is it won't have a big block in it. That's what I can tell you. Now after that, all bets are off as to what I actually bring. I shouldn't even say that. It may change. My old race car is back up for sale. I mean, I could go and get that back. I guess probably not. Love the car. I built it and all that, and I love the car, but I can't do a dedicated drag car. It has to be something I can turn key. So that's what I'm looking at. Yeah, I could put wheels on the boat. I could do that. I could put a hit and miss motor on it. We got a couple of them laying up there. I could put a hit and miss John Deere motor on it. Boy, wouldn't that be something? I could go with sails, put sails on it and sail it down the track. What do you think of that? Wonder if that'd be allowed. I don't think they're going to let electric cars run down there. I don't see that for happening. There's a lot of tracks already outlawed electric cars on the tracks. I tell you who's doing one of them. Is it Mike? Is Bear Rose doing a Corvair? I think it's Bear Rose Garage that's doing a Corvair conversion. I'm thinking he's putting a small block Chevy in it too, but I could be wrong, but I think that's what he's doing. But yeah, I think Bear Rose Garage is doing a Corvair. So I've been looking at some of that, and I know it's Bear Rose, so I want to make sure. But he's putting a full frame under it and the whole deal. So be interesting to see how that turns out. I don't know if it's going to be like one of them, one of them kind of solid front axle car, or what it's going to be. I don't know yet. Oh man, I wish. See, I'm not good on this computer stuff on how to post somebody's garage. Doggone it. Let's see here. Maybe I don't know. Let me see if I can do it. I'm not good at that. He's on YouTube, obviously. I bet that don't come up. I don't know how to do the links. I wish I was smart. I'm not. I'm sorry. He's a great guy. I mean, he's great. I mean, he's doing a phenomenal job on that Corvair. I mean, it is pretty cool. You should be able to find him though pretty easily. I mean, he is part of the No Name Nationals, so he is that. He's got a very good, interesting channel, very educational channel. A lot more than what I got going on. That's what I can tell you. Yeah, cool. Yeah, he have the Corvair correct. I want to make sure of that. I'm sure it's his channel. I try to watch so many guys' channel. It starts overlapping who's working on what. Yep, that's it. Yep, good. Yeah, I think you'll like that. If you watch that, he's got, I don't know, 3 or 4 videos on that car already, I believe. So it's pretty cool build he's doing. David back. There's Arrowhead Garage. How you doing? Glad you stopped in. And Mohawk 62 is in the crowd. How you doing, Mr. Mohawk? How you been? Glad to see you all in here. Hey, no way. Look at there. Scott is in the house. Heavens Mopar. There he is. How you doing, Scott? How's the weather up your way? Is it 80 degrees yet? It was 35 here, by the way. Glad to see you in here, Scott. Thanks for stopping in. What projects you got going on? I know you got something going on. $80 in Phoenix. Well, I'd take 80 right now. Jimmy's here. How you doing, Jimmy? How you been? Glad you stopped in. Rail's in the house. How you doing, Rail? How you been? You're in the 40s and wet. Well, we're close. We're 35 and dry, but they're talking about it being like 58, maybe 60 tomorrow. So it's going to start warming up after today. So it's supposed to warm up overnight as we go. So I'll take any kind of warming above 35 right now and be happy. but I'll take the near 60 tomorrow. It's supposed to be almost 65, I think, by Wednesday here. So you've been craving some lasagna? Well, I think there's a guy that shows up in here once in a while. I think he's the kingpin of the lasagna making, I believe. And I wouldn't doubt if he ain't in here. So, wouldn't doubt. Got up to 55 in Montana. Wow. Hey, Kenny Brackett's in the house. How you doing, Kenny? 6 degrees there? Dude, you can keep that right there. You keep it right there. I've had all of that cold stuff I want. I mean, I complain about being 35, but 35 is better than 6. Yeah. Have I talked to her, Rich? No. I ain't going to talk to him. I can't go there. I just can't. Ain't going to. So I'll just put that out there right straight up. Busted Radio Garage is in the house. How you doing, Chris? I seen your post. How are the cars? I know you're okay, but how's the cars? I'm hoping everything good there. That would be I don't know what I'd do if I walked in and seen that. I don't know. Something about freeze plugs laying on the floor. That would I'd be sick. I mean, that's what they look like. They look like freeze plugs laying on the floor. I'm sure they are. You know, that would have been not a very good moment. Austin's in the house. How you doing, Austin? How's everybody in your direction? Did you make 40 degrees there, or did you stay in the 30s like us? The Super Chat stuff, for some reason, even though I'm above 1,000 subs, I don't have the watch hours to even get that. So that tells you how sad my channel is for watch hours. I'm sorry to say. But yeah, I wish I did have Super Chats and that. But yeah, I've tried to get in there to them, but they say I'm not eligible for it, even at 1,000 subs. So that's about all I can say. Let's see here. What we got here? Heaven. Scott, what you got going on here? Let me read. Replacing the complete passenger rocker and floor pans for now on the Charger. Then push it out and then work on your friend's 63 Darts. Then trunk pan tailgate panel on Steven's Challenger. Well, you got a full house. You got a full house, Scott. You got everything thought out. Reinstalled new freeze plugs. Yes. Fire everything up. See what you got. And yeah. Well, fingers crossed. Hopefully the freeze plugs did their job. They popped out of the way, and I mean, it looks like they did their job. I mean, that's what they're designed to do. So hopefully they work like they should. Yeah. Yeah, it was 35 here too. So that's what we had here. But they're talking like 58, maybe 60 degrees here tomorrow. So, and then warmer that, almost 65, I think, by Wednesday. I think that's where we're heading. So, yeah, I know. But see, I had over 3,000 watch hours a long time ago. But see, as you go year to year, as it year expands away, my watch hours went down because all I had was a bunch of shorts. So, you know, you don't garner much stuff out of shorts. So, I think I'm down to about 2,000 watch hours right now on my last analytics last week. So, you know, it just the way that is. And I really need to get into car content. I mean, my channel is really based on car content. I put the tractors out there because I work on a lot of tractors. So it's what I see, it's what I do. I even change. I don't want to. I ain't changing the name of it though. This is going to be a car channel content. I'll put out there what I got, but I use the tractors as fillers. The problem of it is the tractor content is taking over the car stuff, and that's going to change as the weather goes. So Bear Rose is in the house. Hey, we were just talking about you, Rose. Steven's small engine was I think probably got on your channel, was looking at a Corvair. So just so as you know, I did kind of remember that. I'm glad you stopped in, Bear Rose. Glad to see you. Thank you. Appreciate you all stopping in. I really do. Means a lot. Well, Arrowhead, I appreciate that. I really do. And I don't want to say it's about getting monetized because I really didn't build or try to build this so-called channel I got to be monetized, believe it or not. I really just wanted to make a lot of good friends out here, meet people. I like doing that and showing off, what little bit of bodywork skills that I do and try to show that when I'm working on car material and stuff. So, I mean, I'd at least like to get into the super chat and all that kind of world. I mean, don't want to make money. I realize that, but monetizing, man, I'm so far away from that. Getting a watch hour. Obviously I got some subs, a few. I'm over 1,000, but you need to be. I mean, if you're going to be monetized, 1,000. You got to have, I don't know, 4,000 hours or something like that. There was a time I was over 3,000 watch hours, but that was early in this channel, and now, like I said, my watch hours are about 2,000 right now. So it's suffering pretty bad on watch hours. So see what's going on here. Got to roll it all out. Okay. Chris, I appreciate you coming in. I really do. I know you got your hands full, praying that everything goes good. And I think it will. I think you'll be fine. I think the plug's done exactly what they're supposed to do. So I appreciate you stopping in, Chris. Take care. Come back when you can, if you can. And keep us updated on the cars, Chris, because we all want to know how everything's going for you. So take care, Chris. Appreciate you coming in. Man, that would be so disheartening to walk into your garage and see freeze plugs laying in the floor. Man, I don't know what I would do. I've been very fortunate that I've not had that happen. I bought a car one time that obviously the guy didn't put antifreeze in it, and I bought it, and lo and behold, it had a crack block because it was froze up. So but I bought it like that one because of my fault. But I'm glad Arrowhead Garage stopped in. I'm glad of that. Steven, everybody, Mohawk. Great to see Bear Rose in here. That's awesome. Well, Bear Rose, your ears could have been burning. I don't know. I mean, I'm glad you stopped in though. How is your Corvair project coming along? How's that working for you? I got a friend of mine that races a Corvair wagon down here at Gateway. He goes all over, but he mainly races at Gateway. It's a neat wagon. It's bad fast. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's what I got to work on now is, I guess, to get monetized. I mean, my channel will never be anything like what Chris has got or what Bear Rose has got or John Welburn or all them guys. I mean, them guys has got some content and stuff, and man, I'm just barely hacking away in here what little bit of stuff I got. Everything I'm working on right now, because it takes most of my days, is working on tractor stuff. And a lot of people just don't like tractor stuff if you're mainly a car channel. So, and I tried to stay within the car channel stuff and car stuff. I try to stay into that, but it's hard to do when my occupation is to work on old tractors. But I'll throw it out there in case somebody might be interested in some of that kind of stuff. And the paint and body work is basically the same if you're doing it for a car as you do a tractor, at least on my end of it. I mean, see, I'm thinking I might be sub to you, Arrowhead. Let me go see. Let me look. I think I can do that without knocking myself off the channel. Yep. Yeah, I'm subscribed to you. I thought I was, but I wanted to make sure. Yep. Yep. Corvair flat 6 for the 67 Porsche. Yeah, I thought you was. I get to go through now and see my subscribers. So yeah. I just wanted to make sure. You start getting 1,000 subs, it's kind of hard to keep track of everybody that you're sub to. You know them when you see them on and stuff, but I like to see them in the subs. Uh-oh, Airhead. Looks like you might have a project. Looks like you might have a project. Ain't you glad you stopped in now? Yeah. Yeah, when is that? That's out at the Yellowstone Nationals. Yeah, I've been wanting to. That's one of my trips that's on the bucket list for me to go out and see that stuff, but out at Yellowstone. But I don't know if I'm going to make it. I don't know if I'm going to make it or not, believe it or not. I wanted to make that Western trip sometime. I may make some of it this year, but I don't know. We'll see. See how things work out. That's awesome, Stephen. I try to make everybody a wrench. That way, because I'm dumb, I'll just put it that way. I'm dumb. I don't know how to post everybody's channel out here. So it's hard for me to do that. I guess if I could, if I could learn how to do that, I'd be better at stuff, but I'm not good at computer stuff. I'm just not there. I'll admit that. There goes. There we go. Took care of a couple things right there. Sorry about that. Hey, look at there. Bob's in the house. Bob, where if I ever get to the finger point, you're over there, Bob. I see you. How you doing, Bob? Where's Robbie? Robbie. I know Robbie's got to be in the house. He's back there hiding. Tim, hey Tim, how you been? You ain't snowed in out there, are you? Please tell me you're not snowed in. Uh-oh, dinner's ready. Don't be late for dinner. It can call you anything, but not late for dinner. Don't be doing that. Appreciate you stopping in, Arrowhead. I really do. Thank you much. Glad we maybe got you hooked up with something there. That's a good deal. Awesome. Tim, how you doing? Back to your snow. I'll bet it's snowing cold. And never snowed in. Yeah. Well, you never want to be snowed in. I don't mind being snowed in for a day, maybe two, but man, that second or third day, I'm going to get out somehow. So I haven't had that problem since I lived here 12 years. So glad you stopped in, Tim. Good hearing from you. Oh, we got it here. Looks like Maria's in the house. Maria's in the house. How you doing, Maria? How you been? I think I seen you on another channel. Never done projects. Take more than 24 inches in one day to knock you down, huh? I don't know what I'd do. I've always wanted to see 24 inches. The best I've seen so far is 15. I haven't seen 24 yet. Yeah. I see you over there, Maria. I always say hi to you, I think. I don't think I missed a time that I don't say hi to you. Sometimes you got to watch subbing because sometimes it disappears out of there. I've had that happen to me. I know I've subbed several guys, and I go back in there after a while. It's like, man, I don't see their content, and I don't see it. And I go, okay, I'll go in there, and it's like, well, the sub dropped off. I don't know if that's a YouTube thing. I don't know. I can just tell you once in a while, you got to go back and check your subs because sometimes they just fall away from you. And I don't know. I don't know what that is. I don't know. And Destroyer's in the house. How you doing, Destroyer? How you doing? How's everybody in your world? Yeah, it looks like I got 11 likes and 13, 14 watching, it looks like. I did get that just for those who do kind of watch a little bit of the tractor content I got going on. I did get that little 420 orange tractor. It's up and running, hoods on it. Electrical's all done on it. All that's left is throwing some decals on that tractor, and it's ready to roll out. So we did get that little tractor done, accomplishment. So over 50 degrees. It's supposed to be over 50 here tomorrow, Bear Rose. So yeah. I'll take that. Today was 35. Yeah, that ain't no 6 degrees. So yeah. I'll take the 35 over 6, but I'll take the 55 tomorrow over 35 today. It's supposed to be near 65 come Wednesday here, so we got some warmer weather coming. So, hey, Ginger Vance is in the house. Long time no see. How you doing, Ginger? It's been a minute, hasn't it? It's been a minute. I'm glad you come in. Glad you stopped in. We're just babbling off about everything. Mike at Lone Ranch, he's been doing baby back ribs. So, you know, I mean, if you wanted to get hungry for baby back ribs, Mike, Lone Ranch Garage, he's that guy. Just saying. I mean, I just about drive overnight to get baby back ribs right now. Yeah, Tim, you're getting all kinds of snow this year. Maybe that's a good thing. You won't have the mosquitoes and bugs this year. You know, maybe it's a blessing in disguise. I'm glad you're fine, Ginger. That's awesome. It's not cold where you're at, is it, Ginger? Brisket or a steak? Well, I would take the brisket over the steak, but if it was steak, I'll take steak. Yeah. No, I haven't done nothing. It's sitting outside, unfortunately. The garage where I normally work on it has got a great big tractor inside there, all tore apart. So it's a no-go on the dart sport right now. We'll see what happens in the next week. I don't know. I don't know when that tractor is getting back together. So, yeah. You got one rack of ribs left. Lots of snow and ice, she says. West Virginia. Yeah, Florida has been kind of cold this year. I think they've had a couple of cold snap, haven't they? I mean, that's a little bit unusual for Florida. Yeah, definitely a different year. Yeah. We've had more snow. You know, I mean, last year right out of the gate, we had about 11 inches of snow. You know, of course, that went away. And then here, you know, last 3 weeks ago, we had that 15 inches. So we've not had an ice storm yet. So I don't want any ice. So me and ice, we don't play well together. So they just keep the ice away. Yeah. Ice storms don't go well. Yeah, ticks were bad around here a little bit too last year. I don't know. I mean, I didn't have a problem. I said I don't have a problem with the mosquitoes. Mosquitoes don't bother me. Ticks don't bother me. None of that stuff. I don't know what that is, but you know, I just don't have that problem. But I know a lot of guys they walk out to your yard and come back covered in ticks last year. So Virginia. Yeah. I usually go out in the spring and always looking for mushrooms. You know, you usually start getting ticks around that time. But I've always looked for mushrooms, but I don't get the ticks. Knock on wood, but I've been real lucky with that. Mohawk, what have you been up to? I don't think I've thrown you into the ring of fire. We'll get you all fired up and see what you got working. You know, what kind of good projects you got. Yeah. Yeah, I bet they are. Like I said, they was bad here this year. I've really been really lucky since I was a kid. I just didn't have trouble with ticks, chiggers, none of that stuff. It just didn't bother me. And mosquitoes, don't get me wrong, mosquitoes will fly around me, but they normally don't bite me, which is, you know, You just go down the racetrack, the old swamp, the old gateway track before they made it new. They used to call it the swamp, and there's a reason why they call it the swamp. Mosquitoes would, carry you off if they could, but everybody else had trouble. But knock on wood, I'm telling you, I can stand on the nest of them and not have a problem. But yeah, it can. It can, Bear Rose. And I enjoy working on the old tractors. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like car stuff better than anybody, but I do have an enjoyment factor for them old tractors. And it's kind of it's a dying off breed, really, because a lot of guys don't, I mean, I'm getting older too. So, I mean, that's, those younger generations, they wasn't around these tractors. Some of these tractors I'm working on are, well, that Veely car, that's a 1927. So, and, some of them tractors are in the 40s and 50s. I mean, even before I was born. But, I really like them old tractors. I enjoy being around them and working on them and fixing them and getting them running. I have a knack for it and I enjoy it. So, yeah, everybody wants the Chinese tractors. Yep. Yep. The old hit and miss stuff. I mean, it's just unique to work on, and not too many people work on it. I get it because that generation is going away. Some of them tractors was made long before their time. I mean, if it ain't a 78 Trans Am, they probably don't know much about it. I'm sorry. I don't want to offend anybody, but I'm just saying that, the generation I went through with some of them tractors, we use some of the tractors we have out there. I used when I was 8, 9 years old up on them. So, yeah, today, the 420, 430 tractors I'm working on now, they call them are lawn tractors. Now you go out and mow grass with them. So that's the only 430s they know about, some of them. So, hey, Juan's in the house. How you doing, Juan? How are you doing? Well, I don't know. I can offend people. Trust me. Trust me. I have a way about offending. So I'm glad you're doing good. Glad you stopped in. Yep. David's running around in here somewhere. Juan, just telling you. He's running in here. You survived the mega snow. The mega snow, how much was it, Juan? 1/10 of an inch. I'm kidding. See what I mean? I can offend anybody anytime. Yep. Really get it. Oh, that's funny. Blonde. All in all, I had a busy week. I worked the whole week. I mean, that's not Tuesday. I say I worked the whole week. I didn't work Tuesday. I had stuff going on, so I had to take care of that. But other than that, oh, I'm sure Maria's still in here listening. I'm sure she's probably listening to the broadcast, watching the chat room here. A little put off by the diesel until you restored that little Massey 35. Yeah, 3-cylinder Perkins. They are the Perkins really is probably if you was going to be a beginner and learn how to rebuild a tractor, that would be the motor you'd want to try. Because if you could do that as simple as that is, then you don't get scared about the other stuff that's a little more complicated to work on. That I'll just throw this out here. That yellow 3020 tractor that we're working on, an industrial, it's a synchro, basically an automatic kind of transmission in it. And the motor in it kind of looks like a 4020 diesel. The tractor is basically the same size as a 4020, but the engine has lost one cylinder. So it's only a 4-cylinder diesel. So inside it has a counterbalance to it. It's got a crankshaft sitting beside the other crankshaft that rotates, takes the vibration and the balance and does that. And so when you pull that apart and you look at that and you go, oh my God, what did I get into? But we rebuilt that motor. Yeah, I had to help, but I was there. So, throughout that whole progress. So, but yeah, the 3020 engine is all by itself. The actual 3020 John Deere tractors, that engine to itself. So just throw that out there. But they're interesting to see it, have a counterbalance inside the block, which is kind of cool. He was alive to see some of the dinosaurs. Oh, renegade. Oh, my, David. That's funny. Broke the left front leaf spring. Somewhat terrifying yet fun to do. Just weld it back together. That's what you do there, Tim. You just weld her back, weld it back. What we done, I'm not kidding you. When we was on the farm, we break a leaf spring on a truck. We just welded the leaf spring back together and bolted her back together. Away we went. It'd run a long time like that, believe it or not. Had to use a high nickel rod, but yeah, we welded them a lot. Yeah, they'd break again. Yep, we'd weld them again. That's what we did on the farm because you didn't go to the nearby, international harvester dealer and get leaf springs for a pickup truck because we had international pickup trucks and international 2-ton trucks. So just throw that out there. Yeah, it's more fun if you break stuff you don't have to pay for. Yeah. Oh, Mohawk's Elias. Mohawk, you have a good evening. I'm glad you stopped in. Appreciate it, sir. Come back when you can, if you want to. I appreciate you, sir, a lot. So take care of yourself. Be careful. Just remember, we're all in this together. Like it or not. Where'd Bob go? I know Bob's in here. He's out there lurking. Kind of like Rich 220. He's out here lurking too. Yeah, we're coming up on an hour. 48 minutes of it. I've made you suffer through 48 minutes of me. Yeah, I know. I'm ready to go fishing myself. I am going to do some fishing. Yes. Fire the torch up. Wrap a wet terry cloth towel around the bushing. Get the spring out. Sweet cherry in. Yeah. Lay your bead. Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty much what we done there, Bear Rose. Back in the day, I mean, we had to fix the leaf spring. You wasn't going to go buy one. I mean, if you did, it took forever to get one. I'm talking way back into the 60s. So we had a 58 International pickup truck. Is what we had for a long time, 3/4 ton job. I remember riding in it in 1962. So I was only a couple years old and I can remember it. So Sad the things I can remember. Let's see here. Yeah, international truck. Yeah. Yeah. They'd love to break axles. I don't know what it was about the 58, 59 international pickup trucks, but man, they'd break our axle. It'd break them so much we even welded them back together, Bear Rose. I remember when the dad broke the first one when we was coming out of the field, we had a little bit of a load of corn on it. Back then that was ear corn. So, the weight wasn't that bad. Not like what you'd put shelled in, but these was ear corn, and broke the axle, and had to pull her out of the field. Got the axle out, of course, 3/4 ton to come outside. Yeah, she broke in 2 pieces. Yeah, he did go to the dealer then, and got a new axle, put it in there, and it didn't last a month, and it broke. So that's when we started welding axles too. So I don't know what it was about the international, but they would break an axle on you. Yeah, we didn't have 4-wheel drive. Ours was 2-wheel drive. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Dad, he run that international till about 67, and took and got a brand new. Of course, he was working at General Motors, and bought a brand new 68 Chevy pickup truck. Brand new, right. He followed her through the assembly plant out of St. Louis. Yeah. 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 Somehow I remember them days. I don't know why. I shouldn't. Everybody talks about the good old days, and I'm going, wait a minute. I don't think you guys understand what the good old days were. You talk about them, but I can tell you right now, there was not good days. No. Our cars and trucks didn't have AC in them. It was just simpler times, very simple. Yeah, yeah, yep. That's exactly what that is. Juan, that's exactly what it is. It just, simple, easy times. It wasn't easy, but I mean, the lifestyle was easy. You had to work your butt off. Yep. AC was a hole in the floor. Well, if you was real lucky, you had that vent that popped up on the front of the hood, like the old Chevys would, 49s and all the way up into the 50s, while they pop that vent up out of the top. Then you get a little bit of air, or wing windows. But shoot, you had to be going fast enough to get any air. And we was on the farm, so we very seldom got up above 20 mile an hour anywhere around the farm. So we always used to ride in the bed of the truck, stand up right behind the cab. We was going anywhere. We was even bucking bales of hay and stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's one of them hats. Yep. Yeah, I still got I got a couple of them I'm about ready to mail out. So still got the 10 there, but I got a couple of them ready to mail out to a few of them. So I'll be everybody have to start checking their mail, and I don't know, sometime next week, within the next 2 weeks, most of everybody have the hats, I think, within the next 2 weeks. Yep. I ain't got everybody's address. I still in the business of contacting people through their emails that's on their channels. Hopefully they watch, because I'm asking for addresses. So yeah, just lay the window down on the Willys. Yeah, we didn't have a Willys, so we had a couple of Chevy trucks, and then we had the Internationals. We had 49 and 50 Chevys, had a couple of them. And then, of course, back then when they wore out, they just sat on the hill. They didn't, we didn't haul them off to the scrap back then. We hauled everything on the side of the hill in the pasture. So that's their final resting place was there. They went and got another truck. So, but the 68 Chevy was the first new truck that Dad ever got. So, and then in 74, got rid of the Chevy and got a Dodge, 3/4 ton Dodge truck. Yep. Can't even look at cream stalk corn. Well, I can tell you this. I worked in a grain elevator, some years back. And I can tell you, man, some of the stuff that's underneath them grain elevators that'd make you not want to eat for anything for a while. So, yeah, not good. For some reason, when you get hired onto the place, you're the guy that gets the worst, nastiest job to do that nobody else would do because that's why it's so bad. Well, I don't know. I don't know, Ginger. I don't know how old you are, but I can tell you I'm pretty old and I can remember some stories because I lived some of it. And a lot of it I seen from the neighbors. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. I was graduating high school by then. That tells you anything. Yeah. Graduating high school, 77. Actually, 76 to be truthful. Oh, really? You got to work on the old Barracuda, huh? Wow. Making progress. Making progress, Bob. That's awesome. Awesome. Well, progress is progress. The inchworm goes an inch at a time. That's what they say. Takes him a while to go somewhere and get something done too, but eventually he gets her done. So it's all progress. If you're moving forward, it's progress. Southeastern Ohio, Idaho. I thought that's where he's at, Bear Rose. I couldn't remember exactly. I almost want to say Idaho, but I wasn't sure. Mike's got to go, he says. Mike, thanks a lot for coming in. I appreciate you, sir. Really do. Stay in touch. Look at there. There's Just Mopar Joe. Joe, how you doing? Uh-oh. Joe's got a good one for me. I'm waiting with all waited breath to hear what Joe's got. Joe's got a good one. Joe, I'm glad you stopped in. I really am. Much respect to you, guy. You got some awesome material. I wish I was half as smart. Really. Waiting to see what Joe's got to say. I'm anxious now. Kind of like, what can it be? He's typing it out in longhand. Something tells me this is going to be a good one. Wow. I've got it, Bear Rose. You got the life, man. You're out there on a ranch, or had a ranch. I'll put it that way. Out there on a ranch. How big a ranch was it? Well, as far as the sun goes. Yeah, you see the mountains over there? Yeah, that far. Oh, I'm kidding. Joe's got a good channel. He's got so much information on there. I try to catch his videos all the time because I might learn. I know I'll learn something. It ain't a might. I know I'm going to learn something. I mean, there's a few things I've learned on my own. Obviously, we all do. We all learn something on our own. So, I mean, that's how everybody else learns something. I mean, some stuff they can't school you on. They can't put it in the book. So it's, it's self-taught, self-learned. Okay, went with a comp 252, 263, 660 left. What do I think for a converter? Flash is at 3,800. The cam is listed at 3,500 to 63. I would think you need about a 4,200. That's just me throwing a number out there. Probably a 4,200, 45 maybe. My race car flashed at 5. It was a 4,800 turbo action. It took a couple tries to get it where it wanted to be, though. But I think you're 3,800. You're fairly close there. The 660 lift, 406. So that's small block. Went to comp 252 cam. Let me analyze that just a little bit more. 42, listed 35 to 63. Yeah, I think you'd want to be in the middle of that 35 to 63. I would think that a 4,200, 4,500 converter, probably right somewhere in that area. I don't think you'd want to be 5,000. That truck's got to be 38, 4,000 pounds, I'm sure. So, yeah. Boy, I didn't miss that weight by much. Yeah. .410 gear. Okay. 28 tall tire. It needs more than 410 gear. Just what I'm thinking. 410, great running around the street and track. It's a great combo gear there. I'd probably try to look around for a set of 430s. If you could find a set of 430 gears, I'd jump that tire size up from a 28 though. That's just, just what I'm seeing here there, Joe. But yeah, 456. I ran 456s. They're a great gear. If the guy's driving on the street, the 456s, he probably won't like that too much unless he jumps tire size up. Now, the 28 tall tire and a 456, yeah, that's if he's driving it on the street at all, he ain't gonna like that too much. Just saying. I mean, 410s is good running around the street with and hot rodding around with, yeah. And you know, you could throw it on the track a little bit, yeah. But I'd have to be in a 30 tall tire area, something like that, instead of 430 gears, 4500 converter somewhere right in there. That's where I'd suggest to be at if you had something like that. 42 to 4500 stall. That'd probably flash at about 4800. That'd probably be right where that motor wants to be, you know, racing. That's just my thought, Joe. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think of my thought? Yeah. Yeah. The 28 tall tire is not a make or break, but I'd have to jump it up on a tire size. It's just me. You know, a 28's a lot of revolutions. You know, I mean, if you start talking about drive shaft speed and all that stuff going on. It's just a track beer. So if he's just it changes the gear just a little bit, I'd be 456s. If it's just a track, I'd throw 456s in it, put a 30 tall tire under it. That's me. I'm not going to beat on him for the 28 tall tire. I'm just saying that's a short rollout on the tire. I bet that rollout's like 94 on a rollout. Could be wrong, but I'll bet it's 94 on the rollout. Go to like a 30 tall tire, roll out of like 104. Just saying. Be amazed how it will pick that truck up. You'd think that a big tire would make it go the other way, but it won't. That's not a bad size camshaft. The only thing you got to watch is the RPMs. That's what you got to watch on the 456s with a 28 tall tire. That RPM is going to go jump way up there with 456s with a stock 400 crank. So pay attention to that a little bit. No, I did not go to two different links on the Speedmaster. Oh, you got to understand, my Speedmasters were big blocks, so I'm not privy to the small blocks, but I don't think so. I think you'll stay with the same. I would surely think so. I don't think there's a difference there, so you should be using the same. Yeah, it should be the same length on exhaust as it is. Well, that is a big block. So you're running a big block. So yeah, it should be the same. I mean, my Speedmasters, I run the same length. Yeah. 406. I see. I'm thinking of a small block 406. I'm sorry. So I'll wipe that out of my brain. So a big block. Yeah. Stock 400. If you go with 450, you can't go with 488s. That's a no-go with a 28 tall tire, the 8th mile. That's not longevity there. I mean, it'll run it. Don't get me wrong, it'll be there, but the life expectancy starts going away on that motor up there because you're going to be you'll be over $7,000. I'd almost bet with 28 tall tire and 456 gears. I'll bet you're over $7,000 at the end, real close. And 456s, you should be guessing about 6,800, I think, somewhere in there. The intake was leaning a little. Yeah. Oh, there's nothing wrong with a 400 big block. They'll spin. They'll spin. He said it was leaning a little. The intake was leaning. I'm trying to figure out what you mean by lean. Leaning to one side of the engine to the other? Is that what you're saying? I'd rather have the same possible. This baby spin up fast. 337, yeah. What kind of intake is it running, Joe? Performer? Or I'm going to hope it's a performer or something like that. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. See, my Speedmasters, I had to run offset rocker arms, for the set that I put on that 400 that I had. I had to I had to buy the set of offset rockers, or the 06 something, 660 offset, something like that, off the top of my head. But I run, the Speedmaster offset. They're a good rocker arm. I'll swear that them are a good rocker arm. Now, yeah, you got to pay attention to what's going on there, but it's like anything else. About any of them you look at and that on the rocker arm. So, all of mine on the Speedmasters were offset rocker arms. These ways on that 100 that I was building, I had a heck of a time. Yeah, the intakes would have been more harsher than the exhaust. But yeah, it should have been leaning on just about all of them, really. The ones that I really had trouble with were the ones that were next to the intake runners. Man, you start trying to get clearance in there. It was a little better if you run not a 7/16, but a 5/16 push rod compared to a 3/8 push rod. And I can tell you the 1.5 rocker arm offset rocker arms on those Speedmasters was better that way than it was without. So and trying to go with 3/8 push rods. I got scared to death right around that intake runner. Yeah, I just bought the whole full set of Speedmaster offset rocker arm sets is what I did. I run 1.6. I was running 1.6s, so I borrowed a guy's brand new set of Harlan Sharps, so I'd know what to do with my heads and stuff. So that's where I started off with mine, and then I got my brand new Speedmaster offset rocker arms, and they're fine. They went just like the Harlan Sharps. Now the Indy offsets would work. I could not make the Indy rocker arm set work on them. Offset was just way too much. So definitely go with 1.5s because, it's really up to you. Uh, are you using 3/8 push rods? Or are you using 5/16? I use 5/16 heavy wall. It got me a smaller diameter, and I had just as good a strength. So yeah, yeah. There's not. Yeah, the 1.5s. I did notice the 1.5s were easier to clear. Don't know why that is, but I guess it's that ratio that gets up in there. But yeah, the 3/8 on a 1.6. Ooh boy. I don't think I have any of them rockers here right now. I don't think I do. But I borrowed a set of Harlan Sharps, and I borrowed a set of Indies, and the Indies wouldn't work at all. The offset was completely wrong. So 3/8 with a 03. Yeah, 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 and they are too, ain't they? I mean, I'm sure my video's on there, man. I'm telling you, I like pulled my hair out on that thing trying to get clearance. And I tell you what, you really got to watch, Joe, is on the front, the two far most, I think like 2 and 8 on both sides of that block there. Watch the push rod clearance on the block where it meets the head. Watch that, because there's like an embossing back there, and you'll have to watch that. Just make sure you got clearance on that push rod that comes up off of the cam, and watch your clearance there on the side of the block side, on the block itself, not the head, but it'd be right where the head and the block comes together there. And look at that, make sure you got clearance there, because I didn't have clearance. I had to get in there and clearance the block too for the push rod, so it could go up and hit that rocker arm. Yeah, just check that. I'm not saying your block is that away, but yeah, check that to make sure you got clearance, because you don't want that rubbing, when it's going up and down. Just saying, because that angle does get kind of severe on a couple of them, on a couple of them where it goes up. So definitely check that area. I think I got a pretty good close up of the push rods and stuff on my video that's on the channel. Yeah. 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 The low deck will be the problem with, it ain't a problem on the 440 decks, on the blocks, because it's just different, how it comes up there to them. But that 400, it will present some interesting situations. So, I was frustrated when I made that video, and I said, "Hey, I got to show people this is what I'm running into. This is real life to me." And it's like, "Oh man, you talk about frustrating," because I get clearance here, and then I get up there, and it's like, "Oh my God, I ain't got clearance on the intake runner side." And I start clearancing that, and then the rod slides over a little more. Then you go back down there, and you start clearancing that. Oh yeah, it was frustrating. I mean, yeah, that's why I ain't got no hair, Joe. Yeah, that was real live stuff there for me. And each block is a little bit different in a couple of them areas, where I'm telling you where the head meets that block, on the inside there. Each block is a little different. I mean, you got to just pay attention there a little bit and watch the movement. Now, I'd turn the motor over several times and watch that all go up and down through there. And it's like, man, that's just like, wow. And then that intake, when you start clearance around that intake runner for that, if you're using the 3/8 rod, you start seeing that intake running up through there, and you start seeing that intake rubbing on that inside of that push rod. And then you start grinding away, and it's like you start looking inside the intake, and you go, man, I ain't got a lot of room there. A lot of guys will go through there, and then they have to epoxy it. So yeah, you just got to be careful there, Joe. I hope it helps. I really do. That's why I put it out there. Yeah. Well, I hope it helps. And maybe you don't have that problem. All I can tell you is, what you see on that video is what I ran into. So that's all I say. If you're running a roller cam, if you're running a roller cam in that, Joe, uh, Crane, I think, makes offset roller lifters for that stuff. They're high dollar, but I mean, they do make roller offset things, so you don't run any of that problem. Just saying. So I don't think a guy wants to do some guys like going to the roller stuff. If you want to get away from all them bad angles, you can get an offset roller rocker, or lifter. Sorry. The guys that are running them, they got a couple sets of them laying around. I almost went with that, and it's like, I ain't spending that kind of money. I just went with flat tappet. Is that a hydraulic or is that a solid you're working on, Joe? I should have seen if that was. I should have seen. Let's see here. Is it in there? Yeah. Yeah, Tim, 456 gear, 29 tall tire, should be right around $7,000. Yep, right in there. Yes, should be. Yeah. Yeah, David, 436s. Yep, it would. We've ran a lot of 557. We've run 557s way back in the day and run quarter mile. I don't know how we done it. I mean, they're just solid roller cam. Yeah, yeah, I get you, Joe. Yeah, yeah, understand. Solid roller. Yeah, I just throwing that out there that they do make that offset lifter, so it's kind of, just throw it out there for the guys that want to do that and away from that offset of that all that stuff. It shifts them over a pretty good ways. It really does. It's neat how it does it. And I think you don't have to get all of them, but I mean you can kind of do half of it and do the worst ones. So and the guys I race with, they got them in the 588. He's got and 540s and stuff like that. They put the offset rollers in there. No problem, Joe. I hope it helps you a little bit. I mean, God, you know more than I do. I mean, you do this stuff daily. I can just tell you that what my experiences was, and hopefully the video did help you a little bit. I appreciate you coming in, Joe. I really do. I love talking that stuff. I could talk that stuff all day. I love that stuff. So I'd love to go work down the machine shop. I know a place I could, but it's not really making no money there. So oh, you'll see me down there. You'll see me down there. I'll be there. Everything goes good, I'll be there. Don't know what I'm bringing yet, but I'll bring something probably. Might be a boat with wheels on it and a hit and miss tractor motor on it. I don't know. Yeah, it'd be good to go down there and see everybody. I missed everybody from last year. So well, it's been over an hour and 20 minutes. Of course, me and Joe talked, and that's good. I'm glad. I think hour and 25 minutes. I think that's probably long enough. And I bored everybody to death, blabbing off at the mouth. And of course, me and Joe, I love talking about motors and stuff. So I appreciate all the thing. I appreciate everybody coming in, and I hope everybody has a good week ahead. Enjoy your Sunday tomorrow. Enjoy your families. Have a good family time. That's most important more than anything. Be good to each other. For one thing, be good to each other. So anyhow, thank you all for coming in. I appreciate it very much. Next Saturday, same time, same bat channel. Hopefully we have just about as good as time as what we had this time. Hopefully everybody enjoyed it. So anyhow, you all take care. Thank you much. Appreciate it. See you all next Saturday.